Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Painted Dog TV with myself, Gareth, as your guide. And welcome to the beautiful Rietspruit Game. Excited to be with you all this afternoon. It's a gorgeous afternoon. The weather's perfect. No risk of rain. Everything's still pretty damp, however, because of the recent incredible rains we've had. And we've just stopped here at Mamba Dam just to see if we could see any life around the edge, and so far there's been some incredible bird activity, including a grey heron which is just standing on the dam wall on the far side there. A big welcome to our new intern who's with us, Ryan. Welcome. Ryan's joined us for a couple of weeks, I believe. How long are you here for, Ryan?
3 weeks.
3 weeks, that's amazing. So Ryan's hails from Texas, United States, everybody. He's currently studying in Florida, but intern for Painted Dog over the next 3 weeks. A big welcome to him. I'm sure he's going to have a lot of fun with us here over the summer weeks with us here. And Basil on camera, everybody. And then, of course, a big welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get started from here, everybody, and head to the southern fence line, because I was told by the team that they heard some lions roaring early this morning in this area near Mamba Dam. So I just want to quickly check the fence line and see if there's any sign of these lions. I presume it's the males that we were with last night on one of my private drives. We had a lot of fun listening to them roar and eventually found them, tracked them down just mainly by hearing them roaring. We did find one set of which led us in the right direction, and spent an incredible 20 minutes with the two males, the two ginger males that were roaring for us last night. So I would imagine it's them that's come along this way, and they might be lying up close to the southern fence here. We actually come out in a big open sodic area here, which is an area where I've found them sleeping on many occasions during the day. So I just thought we'd start here, see if we have any luck with the lions, everybody. Just quickly want to check in with our pack members that have joined us. My app's not working. Yep, sounds like it. Thank you, Andrew. Keep a lookout for lions. Basil, Ryan, while I look at my phone and say hello to everybody. Hello, Brandy, Carol, Mary, CJ, Jennifer, Betty, lovely to have you with us. Hello and welcome. Mary, Barbara. Wow, there's a whole bunch of folks with us this afternoon. That's fantastic. Elsa, hello and welcome. Lovely to have you with us all, ladies. Just so chuffed that it's not raining once again. Looks like we're actually... Oh, there's a lion. Hello. Well, there you go. Bang on the money, aren't we? We called it again, everybody. What a treat. Oh, my word. Just as I put my cell phone down, spotted one of the ginger males that's lying up right here, everybody. And there you go. Basil's just pointed out the second male, who's just behind some trees in front of my vehicle here, everybody. What a brilliant start. My goodness. So I've located the two male lions just off of the southern fence of Blowbunk. They're directly in line with Mamba Dam. There's a little two-track that goes north of the fence towards Mamba Dam. They're about 50 meters off the fence, lying up in this sodic area.
How about that?
Awesome stuff, everybody. I'm going to roll forward. Oh, look at that. He's posing for us so beautifully here. Look at this, everybody. I'll make your way as a second. Oh, my goodness. Hello, boy. He's doing some yoga for us here. Copy. Keep making your way. Oh, jeez, what a pleasure, folks. Such a beautiful, peaceful scene that we have here with the two of the three kings of the Rietspruit Game Reserve. They haven't been with their brother for a couple of days now. Of course, most of you know the brother is injured, and so he struggles to keep up with the regular movements of the 2 fit males remaining in the coalition. Good afternoon, Sue. Lovely to have you with us. Quite a humid afternoon. Now that the sun's come out and it's baking the ground, which is still very saturated. It's quite muggy this afternoon, which will mean these lions will probably get up quite a bit later this evening. They'll try and wait for it to cool down, I would imagine, before they start moving. It doesn't look like they've eaten much since I last saw them, which was of course last night. So they may need to go off and hunt. That or go and find the pride. That will most certainly be hunting.
I've just checked the Lowveld link up to Yeland Road. I'm just going to go up north, and there were no tracks on the Lowveld link. Yeah, they've been located at Mamba Dam? No, negative. These are my fuzzies. Copy.
Sounds like one of the other guides is busy tracking the pride, which have also ventured onto Blaubank, but quite a bit further north of us is where they're busy tracking them, everybody. My plan was to actually head up in that direction in hope of maybe finding signs of the cheetah and the cubs. And I think we'll probably still do that, to be honest, so we may end up giving that other guide a hand in trying to track down the lionesses. You never know, they might be on a kill at the moment. Good afternoon, Andrew. Lovely to have you with us. Lazy boys. I've certainly found a great spot here, though, which is why I say I've found them here quite regularly, sleeping in this area, because of the open patches of soil in the sodic area and the short little bushes which provide great shade for them during the day. Plus there's water, of course, very close by. We've just come from Mamba Dam, which is only 100 yards behind me. So life is good in this particular spot. You see this male lion busy flicking his ear. I've just noticed he's got a big fat tick on the top of that ear. He's going to need his brother to help him get rid of that. There's another one there in picture on the far right of the ear as well. That's quite common this time of the year. They'll start to carry a lot more ticks. Obviously now, right in the swing of things in our summer months here, there's a massive amount of ticks on the ground. So it sounds like a couple of the other Painted Dog team members are out on a recce drive at the moment. They're out with Kira from Earth Touch, who's out here just doing a recce on the reserve to find some good locations to film a project that she's busy filming. Matt, come in.
Very well.
Yeah, if that's you on the fence, you've gone past the 2-track. You need to turn back 50 meters and then head north.
Copy, thanks.
So Maddie's busy driving Kira around in another vehicle. They're about to come and join us, everybody. We'll see if this male lion reacts to them arriving. But otherwise, I think we might move on pretty soon, to be honest. As I've said, I don't expect these 2 male lions to do much right now. It's still quite humid, still quite hot. Well, as I say that, Bit of a yawn. Hard work being the apex predator. Good afternoon, Michael. Good to have you with us. Yes, just the two ginger males here. Still no sign of their injured brother. One of the other guides is currently tracking the pride further north of us, and maybe the injured male's hanging out with them, who knows. We're going to head that way next and see if we have any luck locating them. We'll also see what else we can find in the more central and northeastern parts of the property. There you go, you can just see the rest of our team arriving here. You've got a couple fellow Texans that are with us live at the moment, Ryan. They're busy greeting and saying hello. Betty being one of them. She's from Houston. And Brandy from Austin, Texas. Say hello. So cool that we can all be here together, enjoying such a privileged moment. Couple of yawns from this big guy, but I don't think he's going to make any major moves just yet. I'm going to ask Matt to just let us out here, everybody. I think we're going to carry on. Let's go see what else we can find. But what an incredible start to our afternoon. Oh, there you go. Now he's reacting to the vehicle. Hello. Just look at the size of those paws, everybody. And those beautiful eyes. Well, I guess we better wait here for 2 minutes now that he's rolled over and posed so nicely for us.
Where's the third one?
There isn't a third one.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. He wasn't with him last night either, Maddie. Matt, your mom says hi.
Hi, Mom.
He says hi, Mom. Oh, clearly got something buzzing around his ears at the moment that he doesn't like. There's another beautiful yawn. Look at the size of those canines. So impressive on these cats. So we did just see a couple yawns, so maybe he is thinking about repositioning. Maybe he wants to go lay down next to his brother here to my right. Yawning is always a telltale sign that they want to get up and move, sucking in as much oxygen as they can before they move. He certainly does have one incredibly impressive mane, this guy. Betty, it certainly has been a long time that male's injured, but it's not uncommon. It's something that gets recorded all over Africa because, of course, these male lions come into so much conflict with other lions. It happens pretty regularly, to be honest. But we have a unique situation here in that obviously these males don't get the pressure from other incoming coalitions, where an injured male lion would have already been taken out in a situation where he was in a larger ecosystem where there were more male lions to compete with. So that's probably the main reason why he's managed to last so long, and his brothers still tolerate him quite a bit. Even though they are the ones that inflicted even though they're the ones that inflicted the damage to him in the first place, they're very tolerant of him now. Oh, big sneeze.
Well done. Ngala? Where? Stand by, I'm just trying to establish the sighting. I'll call you back now. Copy, thank you.
Gee whiz, well, if he is going to move, he's certainly taking his time. And no massive rush. He's thinking about it. He's going to have a good scratch. And a good lick. Good afternoon, Rosemary. Lovely to have you with us. And look at what we've found.
On Wildefay, about 20 meters on the eastern side of Wildefay. On the southern side of Wildefay. Close to the junction with Wildefay Link. In the block, about 20-30 meters on the eastern side of Wildefay. But number 2 Rhino here on
See the scarring on this male lion. See that big old scar on that right forearm, and then also on the bridge of the nose. They certainly are starting to pick up more and more scars as they get older, and most of that's from squabbling with each other. Some of it, of course, is also when they interact with the pride, particularly when they're feeding at a carcass. Lionesses will often stand their ground and try and defend their meal.
There's no line on Wildefay, he's got a bumper here. He's got it stashed under a bush. Copy that, back I'll respond and I'm going to call. Confirm that's the injured line, please. I firm, 1 male.
Well, I've just heard some really good news on the radio, everybody. The injured male lion has just been located on his own, and he's feeding on a carcass. I don't know what carcass it is. He's apparently got it stashed under a big bush, and he's busy feeding as we speak. Quite far north, in fact, pretty much on the boundary with Leadwood. But that's fantastic news. So the injured male lion, whether or not he stole that carcass from somebody else or made the kill himself, has got a fresh new meal. So he is doing incredibly well. even with that amazingly bad injury to that hip. This guy just decided he needed to get up and give himself a bath. He's going for all the hard to reach places as well at the moment. Look at the size of those front legs. Massive. I think he's going to go join his brother. Oh, good stretch. Doing a bit of scent marking before he lies down. It's interesting, his brother's also just starting to yawn now. Maybe they're thirsty. Oh, wouldn't that be a treat, guys, if we can follow them to Mamba Dam and they go drink at the dam. Let's stick with him. He's on the move, and his brother, like I say, everybody, is yawning. His brother's just stood up as well. He's obviously just woken up, so he's not in a massive hurry. His brother's just laid down again in front of us here. We're so lucky though to have got this little bit of movement here out of the two males. Watching his brother though, just checking to see if he has any intentions of moving further off. Yeah, he's just done that now for you, Andrew. See the beetle on the ground here, Basil? Just spotted another beautiful beetle, everybody. So I just want to quickly point out to everyone, right in front of a track of the male lion that's just walked past us as well. It's really cool. Now, I should remember this species, but I don't. I have seen this particular beetle species on many occasions out in the bush. I think it might be part of the tiger beetle family, but the exact species it eludes me now. I must go and do my research on this one. We saw an incredible beetle yesterday, which was a first for me. The first time I'd ever seen the species we saw yesterday, which is also part of the tiger beetle family. The exact species of that beetle is Manticora scabra, and an African tiger beetle. Most incredible mandibles on the one we saw yesterday. Beautiful colors on this little beetle, however. And amazing to see how quickly they shuffle along. Locating their prey mainly on smell rather than eyesight, which is quite interesting. They just scurry along until they pick up the scent of another invertebrate, which is what they mainly feed on. Very cool to see another beetle out and about. Nice big beetle. Easy to spot. So now it's the second brother's turn to do all the grooming. Before he maybe gets up and goes to join his brother there. I think we'll just stick around, everybody, and just wait to see if he does do that. And maybe if he joins up with his brother, they might go and head for a drink. Maybe the first male up ahead is just waiting on his brother. Such a beautiful line again, everybody, and such a beautiful scene we have here. Here we go. This is what we were hoping for. Let's see if he spurs his brother on and they head to the water. Oh, having a good stretch up against a fallen over tree there.
Lions at Mamba Dam. Come in, please.
Go ahead.
We're about 5 minutes away. Want to approach?
Copy that. Make your way.
Copy, thank you.
That's an interesting voice over the radio. I've never heard that particular person before. I assume one of the homeowners. Or maybe just a visitor that's out here staying with one of the homeowners. Okay. Now you've laid down. Oh, hello. The male on the left's starting to roar. Oh my goodness, everybody listen to this. He's given up. That's a very... Ah, there we go. Here we go. Can you all hear that echo? Just incredible, everybody. Amazing to be here to witness that sound once again. One of the best sounds in the African bush, in the world, in fact. Interesting that his brother didn't chime in there at all. Wasn't interested. But it was also amazing to hear how that sound echoed away from us through the valley towards the waterhole. And that sound travels. Jennifer, to answer your question, the 3 male lions came from Korongwe, another private game reserve about 60 miles north of us here. I was very fortunate to actually be involved with the capture and relocation of these male lions to the Rietspruit Game Reserve, which was about 5 years ago now. So these males are, or maybe just less than 5 years ago, these male lions are almost 6 years old now. So they've been on the reserve about 4.5 years, I think. Oh, that was very special, everybody. What a privilege. Now, might be done, everybody. They did what they wanted to do for the next little while, I think. Groomed themselves, came and lay down in a new spot. The sun's obviously starting to drop now, so they're not too concerned about being out in the open. And obviously one of them has announced themselves to the rest of the lion world. I'd imagine they're going to settle here for some time, everybody, before moving off entirely. I think let's love and leave them here, everybody. Let's go and explore, see what else we might find. Oh, what an incredible start. I'm leaving those 2 male lions still stationary just south of Mamba Dam on that 2-track, with a couple of other stations making their way.
Sorry, the lions by Mamba Dam, is that down Madrid part?
No, they're literally on a 2-track that comes off the fence directly south of Mamba Dam.
Copy, thank you.
Matt for Gareth.
Same on.
What was your route from here?
Houston.
Copy, thanks. Alright, everybody, I think what I'm going to do from here, now having listened to the radio a little bit while we were sitting with the lions, it sounds like there's a lot of vehicles out today. Everybody's making up for lost time because most of the reserve has been closed due to all the heavy rains, and there are a lot of people on property at the moment. It's always the case this time of the year over the Christmas holidays. A lot of people come out to the Rietspruit Game Reserve and spend their time here, and so we get a lot of vehicles out on drive at this time of the year. And there are a lot out this afternoon who are exploring most of the property. And so what I think we'll do from where we are is I'm just going to focus on the southern fence for a bit. I just want to see if we don't get lucky with any cheetah along here, everybody, before maybe turning a bit further north, head up towards Boskamp sort of area, the more central parts of the reserve, maybe later this afternoon. Let's first check the southern fence. We know that all of the cheetah often come out along the fence line here. got some impala up ahead here, just on the other side of the fence. So this is also a private game reserve on the other side here, everybody. It's called the Blue Canyon Conservancy. So there's lots of game on that side as well. This looks like a little bachelor herd we have here. A couple of impala rams. Big rams. Beautiful rams. Every now and then these impala actually get through the fences and will cross over, either way. And actually when they feel threatened by a predator and they're running towards a fence, I've actually witnessed them go through the fence, leaving the predator behind them on the other side of the fence, which is quite amazing. But sometimes, of course, more often than not, of course, they actually don't go through, get caught on the fence, and the predator will then actually pick them, quite literally pick them off the fence. Very cool sighting happening on the road right here, everybody. Look at this. It's a pair of dung beetles with a monstrous ball of dung. Quite amazing, the size of that ball. So both the male and female there, everybody. The male's doing all the hard work. He's busy rolling the ball. And the female is hanging on to the side for dear life as they now push this ball to sometimes a predetermined location, or if not, just an area where there's particularly soft soil where they can bury the dung, which is very often the base of a tree or a short shrub where a lot of water will obviously collect. Just so cool to see them in action though, and remarkable to see their strength and their orientation. Check now, there might be a fight. There's another dung beetle that's just now coming up onto that ball. If it's a male, there's going to be a squabble here. What's going to happen? Check it out. Oh, box, fight. Be gone with you. Check, he's standing proud and tall on top of his ball, making sure the other beetle leaves. He will have none of that. He's not too chuffed by the fact that there's another beetle that just tried to take over. That other beetle thought better of it. He's leaving. Very smart move. While we sit here, I can hear the male lions roaring again behind us. So cool. What an awesome sighting.
Going on to blowbank number 8.
Quite a monstrous ball of dung, and whilst we were driving along the road here, I didn't see any particularly large piles of dung. It's interesting. You never know, they may have even collected it from the other side of the fence and rolled it through this way. Very cool. I'm just hearing over the radio now, everybody, that they have located 2 male cheetah on the southern fence of Kaya. So those were the 2 that we probably had the best chance of bumping into here along the southern fence of where we are. But now that they've been located on the far eastern side of the reserve on Kaya and Glovu, I think we might change our plan slightly. It's not to say that we won't run into the females, perhaps, but they don't spend as much time along the fence as much as the males do. But ultimately, you just never know. These animals all live relatively wild and free out here and can turn up anywhere. Approaching my favourite spot up ahead here, everybody. The spot I always stop at to scan along the fence, right up on top of the ridge here now. It's also one of the spots that the male cheetah often like to come and rest on, this big open patch next to this termite mound here. No female cheetah there. I am going to just quickly stop here and scan the fence line. Nope, nothing moving along the fence. Well, there are a couple of impala way up just below the next ridge, but they're on the Blue Canyon Conservancy. Just see them walking up the road there. Alright everyone, as I've just said, I'm going to change tact entirely here now. Let's cut into the reserve.
Not sure if somebody's radio with me yet, but I have a visual on the elephant in the Rietspruit heading northwest. They're just about to cross the Knobthorn/River Road crossing, heading in the direction of the liquidation. Copy G5. Don't show up yet.
So the road that I'm on now, everybody, takes us past the holding boma here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. We use this boma for releasing of game that get brought to the reserve. We hold them in this boma first before releasing them. And currently there's a pack of 5 African wild dogs in this boma which are waiting on some females, which will hopefully be pretty soon in the new year. And I'm just going to go past the boma, see if we don't get lucky to see the males. Always wonderful spending a little bit of time with these beautiful African wild dogs. And because we're here, we might as well.
One at Mamba Dam and Lowveld halfway between Wildebeest and Cheetah link, and then the elephant just close to the river, which is northwest, and with some Rhino approximately taking there. Copy that. Thanks, Gareth.
We have a line quite stationary, it's quite a small prize, at the junction of Mhlonganweni and Brent Street.
Ah, there we go. So now just getting another update on the radio, everybody, of the pride of lions that have been located. They are on Ndlovu currently. One of the homeowners has just located them on the far eastern side of the property this evening. So we won't be seeing them tonight. This is such a beautiful area that we drive through here. Always think I'm going to find cheetah in this area. You'll see how it opens up really beautifully here. Now you just get the most fantastic view out here to our left, everybody. Look at those beautiful, what we call koppies in the distance. Another fantastic area out there in the distance. That's near Salati Private Game Reserve, where we recently went and relocated a pack of African wild dogs. So you're basically looking in a northwesterly direction, heading that way. And between us and those mountains are just private game reserves all over the place. Lots of them in this area here, including Korongwe, where we got the male lions that we saw earlier today, everybody. That's where those male lions came from, just slightly to the left of those little hills you see in the distance there. That's where those male lions came from. That's where they were born. Basil's just pointing out some zebra to me here, everybody. There's some impala that were hanging around them as well. Not too happy to see us, those impala.
Going live on Redwood. I am up to date with all of the sightings. I would just like to confirm Lowveld this weekend. 12 Metro.
Always lovely though, seeing certainly one of the most striking animals out here in the bush, the zebra. Huh. Now there's impala alarm calling. What are they shouting at? Surely they're not shouting at us. Just going to move a bit forward. Oh man, they're all looking straight at us and alarm calling. What have they seen? Well, that's bizarre. I've never come across a whole herd of impala alarm calling at a vehicle before. They've certainly alarm called at me on many occasions when I'm walking around tracking. But look how alert they are, everybody. Maybe there's a small cat in the long grass here. Maybe there's a serval here or a caracal here. Okay, we're going to have to go in there and just see if we don't see anything. There's very good grass cover here. We've got to be careful where we off-road at the moment, everybody, because of the rain and the soil's being very saturated. We can do quite a lot of damage, but there's very good grass cover here, which is why I say we can go in and just have a quick look here. Imagine we discover a caracal or a serval in the long grass here. Impala don't alarm call at vehicles. They don't like vehicles, they just run away from them. Which is of course what they did initially. Then they all stopped, turned around and started alarm calling, facing directly towards us here. No man, these Impala are confused. There's nothing here. If it were a caracal or a serval, two of our smaller cats that do occur here on the reserve, they almost certainly would have got up and moved already. I would have flushed them by now, having driven down here. We've now gotten to the point of pretty much where these Impala were standing before they ran off from us. And I don't see anything here, everybody. That's quite bizarre. Well, very cool to see the Impala and the zebra, and exciting. But nothing there. Just listening to Andrew and FC there whilst I was talking and going off-road. He was saying if we found a caracal, he had a fresh bottle of whiskey waiting for me back at camp. Thanks, Andrew. Your whiskey's safe for now. Carol, to answer your question about the pack on Baluli, good question. I don't know. I'll have to touch base with Grant and find out. I haven't had any recent updates on that pack. Mary, that's that's quite funny. You react the same way to human beings. You stand, stare and snort. Fair enough. Right, talking about packs, let's go see if we can see the males from our pack. See how they're doing, everybody. They're just up ahead here now. There are some fresh vehicle tracks that go up to the gate there, so perhaps Jakes has come to feed them today. So these wild dogs, everybody, are obviously very captive in a very small boma here, and so we have to feed them on a regular basis. Every 3 or 4 days at most, we bring them an Impala carcass to keep them fed until we can obviously get these females here, get them all together and then send them on their way. I'll just quickly take a drive around and see if we don't spot them. So when I say tiny, it is quite a small boma. It's probably about an acre and a half at most that the dogs have here. There are only 5 dogs. It's more than enough space for them, but there's no prey inside this boma, so we have to supplement their meals. It's also good for us to regularly come past here and just check the fence line, because wild dogs are pretty good at digging, and so will sometimes dig their way under the fence. Right, here's some dogs. Hello, boys.
Fred onto Bobunk vehicle.
Clearly you haven't been fed. That's why you've come running up to the vehicle. So maybe your meal will come tomorrow. They're not scrawny, that's for sure, but they haven't eaten today. How special is this, everybody? One station in position at the boma on Hoofpad. Here comes the amputee. Look at this, everybody. For those of you that don't know, this poor dog got caught in a snare, and the snare horrifically tore into his front right shoulder, and it was decided that we'd actually amputate the entire leg. And it's amazing to see how well he does just on 3 legs. The vets here did an incredible job of looking after this dog. Of course, we do everything to protect these critically endangered African wild dogs. It's amazing when you look now at the scarring, you can see how brilliant he has recovered and how well that surgery was done in the first place. And yes, Betty, to answer your question, there is a prospective group of females that aren't too far from here that we're hoping will be genetically viable to match up with these males. Can hear the lions roaring now, and look at the dogs. They can hear the lions too. They're listening to the lions. Shame, sorry boy. That dog, everybody, just touched his tail on the electric fence. He just got a bit of a fright. Shame, man. He just wagged his tail too much and touched the electric fence there. It's not a very high voltage, everybody. There's probably about it's usually between 4,000 to 6,000 volts that run through these game fences, which, don't get me wrong, will give you a pretty decent whack, but they're certainly not going to do any damage to these dogs. Won't kill them unless, of course, they got trapped in the fence. But yeah, we obviously have to keep them in, and at the same time we have to keep other predators out from coming in and killing the dogs. Shame he got a big fright there. Alright boys, we're going to leave you be. Sleep tight. I'm sure your next meal isn't too far away. I'm just going to continue finishing off the perimeter of the boma, everybody. Like I say, I just like to check the fence, make sure that there are no new holes that have been dug by them or any other predator. I did see all 5 dogs there, however, so if they had successfully dug a hole, we wouldn't have found any of them, of course. But with the rains, it's made the soil very soft and would be quite easy for them to dig. See the little bit of digging there? I mean, it's nothing major, but that's clearly where a dog has been digging in the swirl there. And probably it, started trying to dig and then touched its paw or nose up against that bottom strand. But those are the sort of things that I'm looking for, just to make sure that they haven't dug a deep enough hole to get out. And you can see here in the past where they had, and Kevin had to come and fill this particular hole that they dug up with rock just to stop them from doing it again. Yeah, the dogs again. They've listened to us. Shame they're following us, thinking we've brought food. Hello, boys. I'm sorry I don't have a meal for you, or a bunch of girls for you. But it won't be too much longer. Promise. Alright, boys. We'll see you later. Leaving the boma on Hoofpad unattended.
Kevin, Arda's not out, it's David this time. Okay, just let her know that hyena unfortunately might have been looking for going to a den site. I think it actually heard that lion grab the warthog, so I think it was running towards there.
Just listening to Kevin on the radio, that injured male lion is feeding on a warthog, everybody. So I'm telling you now, he most likely dug a warthog up. You never know, he might get lucky and catch one, by chasing it down, but he can't really chase much with the injury he's sustained. So I think you probably find, obviously we captured it on film not that long ago of him digging something up. He wasn't successful. We assumed it was a warthog, and I would imagine that he's doing that more regularly now with his injury. Obviously the front legs, his front paws, all still working just fine, so he'll use that to dig up the warthogs. Just see something moving on the road. It's probably zebra. Yeah, it is zebra. Same zebra we saw before, everybody, just off in the distance there. I just saw a bit of movement. It's their tails wagging in the distance there. But yeah, so there you go. That male lion's feeding on a warthog. I wouldn't be surprised if he dug it up out of its burrow. Right, so what I thought we'd do from here, everybody, is maybe just quickly go down to Mamba Dam. Haven't been down there in a while. I'd love to see what the water level's like, first of all. Also, see which wonderful creatures might be about at one of my favorite water holes.
Trying to pull disjointed 2-mile lines off the Madrid fence line south of Mamba Dam.
Very cool set of tracks here, everybody, that you can see. What look like paw prints. Well, they are paw prints, but not of a true cat. Those paw prints belong to a spotted hyena that was walking along here shortly after the rain, maybe sometime yesterday or last night. Walking along the road here towards the waterhole where we're headed. Big spotted hyena, so most likely a female. Oh dear. Look at this, everybody. Shame, man. A stranded baby impala. Lost its mom. Always tough to see this. This little thing will be so vulnerable, of course, without the protection of its mother and the herd. Not impossible, though, that it will survive, but it's rather unlikely. At that age, they do start feeding on solids, mostly grass, but they are still dependent on their mother's milk. For the first sort of 4 months of their lives, these little impala lambs. But it is so totally vulnerable without the experience of mom to keep it safe. Impala don't have strict herd structures, so that little baby impala, that little lamb, may eventually wander upon another herd and just team up with them. Like I say, it's not going to be able to nurse. The ewes don't share nursing responsibilities, so they won't nurse somebody else's lamb. But it's not impossible. Maybe that little one starts to feed on solids a bit earlier and somehow makes it. But for a predator, that is just such an easy meal. I've just seen hyena tracks on the road here, and that's something hyenas thrive on this time of the year, are these impala lambs. They will actually catch and eat them. Hyena have got remarkable stamina. That little baby impala is incredibly fast, but it runs out of steam very quickly. And so the hyena just keeps going. With its stamina, it'll eventually just run that little impala lamb down.
Yeah, keep coming. I'm pulling out and leaving Tim in the lock. Over, thank you. Leaving the lock as well, so it's not bad.
Hello, Dyer. Lovely to have you with us. Just busy making our way down to Mamba Dam, our favourite waterhole, just to see who's about. We had an amazing sighting of the two male lions, the two ginger male lions, already this afternoon. Some wonderful general game, and the pack of African wild dogs are in the boma. Just went and checked on them. They're doing well. Just switched off for a second here just to see if I don't hear anything. Which I don't. So we'll carry on. Right, here we go, everybody. Just approaching Mamba Dam now. Sure, this is so beautiful. Interestingly, not as much water as I was expecting. Beautiful nonetheless. So peaceful. A pair of Egyptian geese off to the left of the waterhole here. Right, now cue the leopard that comes to drink on the other side of the waterhole. It's obviously happened before. Some of you may have been with Painted Dog TV with Brent when that happened. Basil, you were on camera that day, weren't you? That leopard drank right there. The name Mamba Dam means leopard dam, directly translated from Afrikaans, so it's a fitting name. They do come drink here quite regularly, the leopards. It's wonderful listening to all the frogs. Mostly the bubbling casinas calling here. Also hear grass frogs, bushveld rain frogs. And a waddling pair of geese. Mamba Dam is spelled Luiperd. Leopard. And then Dam is spelled the same way as dam, D-A-M. Alright everybody, I'm going to carry on. Keep moving, see if we can find anything else. Beautiful stop here at this waterhole. interesting to see. We're the first vehicle that's driven along this road in the last 48 hours. Again, that's because of the rain. And there's not a single track of any predators or rhino that have walked along here in the last 2 days. Of course, not a lot of game are attracted to the waterholes this time of the year, or forced to the waterholes because of all the rain. There's water lying up everywhere.
Number 9 or 10. Number 10. Okay, then we're making our way down towards the sleigh. It'll be about 5 minutes out. Okay, you're approaching. Remember that you just tell me you're responding and then I'll...
Making our way north, everybody. We're going to go stop in at Kudu Krip. See if we get lucky with our leopard. Or some rhino. interesting that there's literally nothing, no tracks at this intersection here. It's one where I often find tracks of just about everything. With your territorial animals, they often cover a lot of ground after rains to remark their territory with scent by spraying their urine and dropping their dung and using glands on their bodies. I find it quite surprising that we haven't found any tracks of leopard or rhino down here in the south of the reserve this afternoon. Lots of giraffe tracks here from today. Very close to that little waterhole I just mentioned earlier, Kudu Krip. I'm coming up on it now. Just go and see if anybody's been there for a drink or is currently drinking. At first glance, it looks like the most recent visitor has been a foam nest frog. You can see the nest just up on the side of the brickwork there. appears the only other creature that's come recently are those giraffe. They came to drink here today as well. Yes, indeed, Carol. That's why I keep going back to that little waterhole. We know that that leopard comes here very often. It's going to happen eventually. We'll turn up there and she'll just be waiting for me, for us. Sue, to answer your question, no, not particularly hot. It's been a lovely day. A little bit humid. But I think the maximum temperature today was 28 degrees Celsius, which for our part of the world is pretty mild, pretty average, or rather below average. Not hot at all. Just circle this block, look for any tracks of this leopard, and then if we've got enough time, go past the reservoir as well, the big reservoir. Might catch the elephants there. that sky. I thought I'd seen the track of a predator crossing the road here, but it might be, it might not be. It's so difficult to tell. The soil type here is quite hard. Where are you hiding, little lady? What is often the case as well, though, with the weather we've had, so electrical storms, thunderstorms, strong winds and the rain, is very often these cats will make regular kills in those sorts of weather conditions because it's to their advantage to hunt when their prey's senses are all disturbed by the disturbance of a storm like that. I've experienced it many times with leopard and lion, where you just can't find them for a couple of days after the rain because they're sat somewhere in the middle of a block feeding on a carcass. Heading up towards the reservoir here now, everybody. It's just on top of this ridge in front of us here. Amazing view of the mountains and that stunning sunset. Just coming past the reservoir here. We've had some pretty damn special sightings on this reservoir. Leopard and lion jumping up on the reservoir wall. Regular sightings of the elephants here as well. Some brilliant bird life too.
From Mamba Dam, mobile at the moment.
Right, well, sadly everybody, we are almost out of time this evening. We have just enough time to quickly sneak up on one last little waterhole down here, the Munduran Krip. Maybe she's waiting for us here. Still can't believe that Jana and Ashley came here one night and found that leopard draped across that fallen over tree right there. Just unreal. It doesn't look like she's here tonight, unfortunately. No sign of her whatsoever. Well, that's okay. We'll get her another night. But it certainly has been a beautiful afternoon, everybody. and we thank you for joining us. We hope you've all enjoyed yourselves. We certainly have. Wonderful spending time with those male lions and the wild dogs, and just exploring this beautiful place that we love so much. Thanks for joining, everybody. We hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, wherever you may be in the world, and we'll see you again very, very soon.